The life of a K-pop idol who looked perfect on stage is now haunted by an event that shocked the whole world. Jungkook, the youngest member of the legendary group BTS, known for his singing and dancing skills, is now caught up in a case far removed from the entertainment world. Behind the glare of the camera and the magnificent stage, he was undergoing a period of military service, where he had to undergo duties like an ordinary soldier. However, who would have thought, behind the strict military discipline, Jungkook actually became a victim of bullying carried out by a senior soldier. For BTS fans, this news is a big surprise. Jungkook, who has always been known as a person full of passion and joy, suddenly became the center of attention not because of his achievements, but because of a case that touched the emotional and even legal side. What is really going on behind this case? Why could a well-trained and famous soldier fall under these circumstances? Why, in the midst of his military service, Jungkook had to face such great trials? All this invites deep curiosity. On that tense day, Jungkook appeared at the court-martial with an anxious look on his face. With the camera following him, he must face a harsh reality he never imagined. In an emotional hearing, a soldier who was previously a squad mate with Jungkook gave a shocking testimony. In a stammering voice, the soldier revealed how he had been treated very badly by a senior who was supposed to be a role model. This testimony really shook. In front of the entire audience, the soldier explained how rude and degrading behavior Jungkook had experienced during his time in the unit. In fact, he revealed that Jungkook was often the target of ridicule, physical violence, and even threats that made him feel insecure. "I can't imagine a soldier with a big name like Jungkook having to suffer like this," he said with regret. What's even more shocking is the fact that this action took place during Jungkook's stint in a military cooking unit. Many do not know that behind the strict and stressful life of the military, there are hidden dark events. A soldier who was expected to be an example in discipline turned out to be an unimaginable victim of bullying by many. Jungkook is no ordinary soldier. He is known by millions of people around the world as an international pop star. However, when he stepped into the military, there were no more camera flashes or fan cheers. He has to undergo tasks like a typical soldier, ranging from hard training routines to daily tasks that demand physical and mental endurance. But what was unexpected was the ill treatment he received inside the unit. Jungkook's story as a victim of bullying has become a hot topic of discussion, not only among BTS fans, but also around the world. Many are surprised by the fact that a big star like Jungkook can be the target of bullying. How could a soldier with such a great name, respected by so many, be a victim like this? Asked a fan who was also present at the conference. However, the presence of witnesses who spoke boldly to reveal the truth opened the eyes of many. Their testimony shows that Jungkook's bullying was not just a rumor, but a bitter and heartbreaking reality. The trial was full of tension. Pent-up emotions finally broke out, and Jungkook could not hold back his tears as he heard the soldiers' testimonies revealing the suffering he had endured. With teary eyes, Jungkook looked surprised and incredulous at the reality. On several occasions, he seemed to sob, as if unable to express how deep the wound he had felt so far. "Why do I have to experience this? What's wrong with me?" sobbed Jungkook, while giving a brief statement before the court. The atmosphere became more and more emotional, and many people who witnessed this trial firsthand felt touched. Although he was a soldier who had to maintain a professional attitude, but who could bear the pain when faced with an insult that he should not have received? In addition, this incident raises a big question. Has the military system so far not provided sufficient protection for its soldiers? Why would a senior soldier feel free to resort to violence against their peers? And even more surprising, how could this be allowed to go on for so long without any serious action from the authorities? News of the bullying case against Jungkook soon spread widely. Around the world, BTS fans and the general public expressed their concern. Many felt anger and disappointment, not only with the violent behavior of senior soldiers, but also with the attitude of the authorities who were perceived as less responsive to this problem. A number of BTS fans, known for their spirit of loyalty and support for the BTS members, immediately organized a solidarity action. They voiced support for Jungkook through social media and various online platforms. Jungkook is not an ordinary soldier. He is a symbol for many people. We will always support him, a fan wrote on Twitter. This action shows how much attention is paid to Jungkook and how many people are concerned about what happened. However, not only fans were surprised. Many, including the international media, condemned the incident and demanded justice. One military expert says, "Bullying in the military environment is a serious problem that often does not get enough attention. This case shows how important it is to provide protection to every soldier, no matter who they are." For Jungkook, this trip was very difficult. As someone known around the world, he had to face not only legal problems, but also the reaction of his fans, the entertainment world, and even the public in general. This case highlights a major problem that may have been hidden behind strict military discipline. What will happen after this trial? How will Jungkook continue his life after this ordeal? On the other hand, the military world itself is faced with the big question of how they can prevent similar cases in the future. Is the existing system sufficient to protect soldiers from violence, or should systemic changes be made to prevent a recurrence of similar events? No matter what happens, one thing is certain. This case will continue to be in the spotlight, and whoever is responsible for Jungkook's bullying must be held accountable. Jungkook's tears in court not only reflect the grief of an individual, but also mark the great struggle for justice in a military world that has so far seemed closed and untouched. With all the surprises in store, one big question remains hanging in the air. Will this case be a turning point for systemic change in the military? Will soldiers, especially those in senior positions, begin to realize that violence is not part of discipline? And, most importantly, will Jungkook get the justice he deserves? Everything is still uncertain, but what is clear? The world has now seen another side of a star who has been known only for her charm on stage. Now, he is struggling to get his rights as a human being worthy of respect, both in the entertainment world and in the military world. What's really going on behind this bullying case against Jungkook? Many wondered, how could a senior soldier, who is supposed to be a role model for his juniors, resort to violence against someone as influential as Jungkook? Is there something bigger hidden behind this incident? Amid the growing spotlight, a controversy emerged that sparked more questions than answers. A big question arises. Was Jungkook deliberately targeted because of his status as an international idol? Some observers have speculated that there may be a hidden reason behind the ill treatment Jungkook received. Jungkook is a superstar. Is it possible there are certain parties who feel jealous of his fame and success, even in the military world? Asked a pop culture analyst who follows the development of the case. This speculation is further reinforced by the fact that Jungkook is often seen as a symbol of immense success and popularity, which not infrequently triggers jealousy from teammates. However, many also argue that Jungkook's violent behavior was purely a larger structural problem within the military and not merely a personal act. They claim that the military too often ignores the problem of bullying and harassment, which ultimately affects the mental and emotional well-being of its soldiers, regardless of their background or status. One of the controversies that developed after this case was BTS's involvement in this situation. Some fans and analysts believe that BTS members may be forced to intervene in the matter, either directly or indirectly. Given that BTS is a group that is not only known in the music world, but also as a social icon with great influence, many wondered if they would dare to voice their support for Jungkook in the midst of this tense situation. However, on the other hand, there are also those who think that BTS may choose to remain silent so as not to aggravate the situation. They are a global symbol. If they speak too loudly, it could be that this will damage their image. But if they are silent, it will look like they don't care, said one social media observer. In a fast-paced world like this, BTS' decision to remain silent could spark even greater controversy and will probably have an effect on how they are viewed by fans and the public. However, a question that arises is whether or not BTS's decision to speak out will have an impact on Jungkook's future inside and outside the military world. Will BTS as a group, which has a huge influence in the international entertainment world, be partly responsible for the problems Jungkook is facing, or will they choose to keep their distance in order to stay focused on their careers? However, The biggest controversy arising from this case is related to the military system itself. Behind the bullying Jungkook experienced, there is a system that is considered to have failed to protect